Sing to me, Paolo.
All right, we ready?
Have you ever seen such a beautiful night? I could almost kiss the stars for shining so bright.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Youth Encounter podcast.
Wait, is that how we're starting?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
I think everyone else needs to feel as uncomfortable.
Okay,
as
we
I
didn't
just
have
did
an
right
official
there.
start, but that's fine. Let's do it.
Sean, we're just gonna jump right into it today.
Okay.
Actually, you know
Can
what?
I just sit right in it? Your mic is disappearing.
Yeah, it's going crazy right now. Actually, I do have an announcement though. Our good friend Javin, who is not here today, he's not here. Just had his. Good? We good?
That was the announcement.
Oh,
Thing, yeah.
sweet. No, our good friend Javin, who you saw in the first episode, is having he had his baby
He's
today.
a father!
Of his
Well, he's already had two, so he's been a father.
of his third kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby Truett James. Very cool. We're really excited
5
for him.
pounds, 6 ounces?
Something like that.
I don't remember the ounceage.
That's crazy.
I should know this. I'm gonna look at my
Do you know-
text right now. We want to say the right thing. We want to give Truett the credit he deserves. 5 pounds, 6 ounces, 18.5 inches, or as I like to say, 1.5 feet and a half an inch.
Dude, and we saw a picture of him, and he had a beanie on. It's pretty cool that
He
was
did.
born with
He
a
looks like
beanie.
Eminem.
Yes.
You could really lose yourself in the baby picture.
Javin is obviously the voice of reason amongst us three.
The voice of truth tells me a different story.
All right, so here's what I want to do to start today. I got a few would you rather questions just to warm us up, and then I got something exciting.
Gather. I'd rather gather.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
But
Inside jokes.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready for your first one?
Yeah.
All right, follow along. Answer these for yourselves too as you listen to these. All right, number 1. Would you rather be forced to listen to the same 10 songs on repeat for the rest of your life, or forced to watch the same 5 movies on repeat for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Moving on, I guess.
Honestly, neither of those sound terrible to me. So I would probably pick songs just because I'm picky. Could you pick the 10 songs?
Yeah, but you'd have to listen to the same 10.
Or you could pick the 5 movies? That would get
Yeah.
weird when you go to church, though. Does the worship team know what songs you're allowed to listen to? And if it happens to be like a country song in that rotation, are they all of a sudden like, a little bit of chicken fried? I don't
they're
know.
just putting on Bon Jovi as you're
Yeah.
as you're trying to worship. No, I don't. I think it would have to be like in the car or like you're
Okay.
listening to.
I think I would take the movie one. I'll do music. Songs.
I think I do the same
Songs,
thing. I
yeah.
already listened to the only 10 songs.
Yeah, I listened to only the 10 Justin Bieber albums. That was me being you.
Oh.
Okay. Next one.
Yeah, I actually do that. So, all right, number 2. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life, or toothpaste for the rest of your life?
Shampoo. I'm a guy, so half the time I use the body wash anyway, so it really doesn't matter. You didn't say I couldn't clean my hair. You just said no shampoo.
You're jumping around the question, man.
What about you?
Finding loopholes.
I think we already know the answer to that.
Dude, that's messed up, dude. My breath is not that stinky.
Oh, I was talking about your greasy hair.
My hair is
No, I'm
not
just kidding.
greasy. For those of you who are only listening and you can't see us, my hair is luxurious and beautiful and flowing.
Yes, it reminds me of a John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John movie.
Do people even know who that is? Olivia Newton-John.
I think so, if they know the movie Grease.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Okay, would you rather lose the ability to cry or cry every day for 20 minutes randomly?
I would lose the ability to cry because I barely cry anyway. So it would be like...
Yeah, but there's no part of you that's like, I wish I cried more.
I do, but since I already don't have the ability, I wouldn't miss it that much if I didn't.
Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of the same way. I don't really cry too much. Doesn't mean we don't feel sad, but we just don't.
Yeah,
let
well, I live in
water
a
protrude.
perpetual state of sadness.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida is probably the most sad state there is, so yeah.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
But we don't cry very much, so I feel like, but 20 minutes randomly every day?
Like, could you imagine, like, you have to, I'm just going to throw it out there, you have to poop, and you're at the mall. So you go to the bathrooms in the food court at the mall, and there's a bunch of people in there. You go to sit down at the stall. You're like, ugh, and you're already making noise, and then all of a sudden, Like, you just have to sit there the full, probably like 30 minutes till it's cleared out.
Or
and no one could see you.
The worst scenario, you propose to your girlfriend and she says yes.
And you
just start crying.
She might think it's tears of joy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That may not be so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you get like a A on a test and you get it back. You just start crying and your teacher's like, what happened? All right, one more. Here we go. Would you rather be physically stronger than most people? I don't know why they worded it like this. Physically stronger than most people or be able to fly. So super strength or flight.
I'd rather fly.
Very simple.
That one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
The strength is cool, but I'm already stronger than the average bear.
The average bear? Have you fought a bear?
Mentally stronger. You said physically.
So...
But I have wrestled a bear before.
That bear was sin.
Yes.
Wow, that's very spiritual.
I overcame it.
It's very spiritual.
I would take flying. Flying is like the only, I think, ability I would want more than flying is, have you seen the movie Jumper?
No. What is
Basically, it's like teleportation. Like he could just appear wherever he wants. That would be pretty cool too. Because, like, there's literally no limits.
It's like teleporting?
Yeah. Like, you could just teleport into a bank vault and steal stuff and then teleport back out. No one would know.
Just to go in there, though, not even to take anything.
Exactly. Why would I take stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be, but flying would be like, that'd be really neat.
I feel like it's scary.
It would be, but can you imagine?
Just the first time, I guess.
You're Peter Pan.
He's got an evil shadow,
Do you still age? If you can fly?
Yes, you age.
So you don't turn into Peter Pan. You should have specified that.
So, no.
I need all the details. I used to be a lawyer, so details are really important to me.
A lawyer? Mm-hmm. That's something I never knew.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's good to get a little bit of insight on how your mind works.
Well, then I just learned that I'm no longer under the law, but grace. So I didn't have to keep the law anymore.
Well said. Fighting sin bears, not being under the
law.
law.
Let's go.
You're a walking Devo. That's what you are.
Yeah. Or, if I were a girl, walking diva.
Okay, here's what I want to do for our next segment.
A male diva's a diva.
Something I really enjoyed in quarantine,
Oreos.
Sitting at home, yes, Oreos and whipped coffee. That was actually pretty good, even though I'm not like a coffee guy. But one thing I love doing is tier lists. I loved making tier lists.
But we lost the ability to cry.
Yes. Oh, I get it now. I get it.
Oh my
I get it. It took me a second. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to know. I feel like we have very similar tastes when it comes to this, but I want to know kind of where you rank fast food.
Okay. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
even though I do think since we both had COVID, our tastes are a little different.
Yeah, that is true.
Because that's like an ability we've lost.
For those of you who don't know, Sean gave me COVID.
I did. I felt so bad. We literally hung out the day before I started getting symptoms. I felt terrible.
But that's okay.
I was a bad friend. All right, so we're going to rank stuff. Rank fast food.
Yep.
All right.
F tier is the worst.
Okay.
S tier is the best. And then we're just going to put a category for stuff we've never had. We're not going to go through all of these because there's so many.
Okay.
So we're just going to stick to the ones we've had. So we don't even need to worry about that one.
Okay.
Okay, for the first one. Oh,
okay.
My mic.
Got it.
Boston Market.
I'd put that in F tier, honestly.
What?
It's okay, but do you ever just go to Boston Market because you want it?
There are certain days where I do.
You've literally gone there out of choice, not because it was the closest place.
Like, there's some days where I'm like, you know what I could go for right now? A quarter chicken, mac and cheese, and sweet potatoes. Literally those three things. And Boston Market has all those three.
The last time I went to Boston Market was when I coached track, which would have been almost 10 years ago, and it's because it was right by WA's track. No, not even WA. Wait, is there one by them? It might have been Dade Christian. That's what it was, Dade Christian.
That's so funny. I had Boston Market last time I went to Dade Christian.
Yeah, see? That's the only reason you get it, because you're at Dade Christian.
Everyone comes down to Florida just to go to Dade Christian and eat Boston Market.
Eat Boston Market, yeah. No, it's not something I really would ever choose.
Okay.
If I had other options.
All right, fine. We'll put it in F tier. I'm kind of sad though. All right, here we go. Our next one, Arby's.
I'd make Arby's like. Is there a B? Can we do B?
There's a B.
Okay.
This is one that I feel like a lot of people would say is F tier.
It's underrated.
Yeah.
Just a giant roast beef sandwich, curly fries, and now they got them new crinkle cuts.
I would never even eat the crinkle cut.
That was
fries.
my nickname in middle school.
Crinkle
they called me
cut.
Crinkle Cut Fryer.
Because you would always fry crinkle cut fryer. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Wow. I agree though. I think Arby's is underrated. Their curly fries are just unmatched.
And their Arby's sauce.
Imagine like if you could mix like a McDonald's quarter pounder with like Arby's curly fries.
I mean, that's taking the McDonald's fries out of the equation. That's like their best thing.
I know, but I feel like Arby's are better.
Did you
though.
know Arby's though is also RB roast beef? Arby's roast beef.
But it's not spelled
RB,
like that
RB.
though.
But think about that. How crazy. Fun fact.
Wow. All right.
Did you ever know that?
If this doesn't, I did not know that.
Okay,
no.
there you go.
All right. If this doesn't go in F tier, I'm resigning from my job here.
Chick-fil-A.
No.
Oh.
Burger King.
Oh yeah, that's. You know what though? I would put
Don't
it in
say
D just because of their breakfast. I think.
Okay,
I
you
think
got me on their
Burger
breakfast.
King has the best fast food breakfast.
I actually agree with you, but are we really talking about that? Do we really take that into consideration?
I feel like I've said it, so we have to.
Okay.
I don't. Everything else, dude. You can go to Burger King. Like you can literally go to like a nice steakhouse for cheaper than Burger King. They charge you for everything. Oh, extra sesame seed on your bun, that's another $1. Extra slice of cheese, $2. And they don't tell you all these upcharges. The
Yeah.
last time I went and got a meal, it was like $15.
Yeah, I remember we went one time. It was you, me, and Javin.
That was the last
we
time
paid
I went.
we paid like $40
For the
altogether
three of us.
For
Yeah,
three.
it was ridiculous.
And
the
what was
food
it
was
like $1 for
terrible.
a slice of cheese?
Yes.
It's not even cheese,
On a
dude.
double Whopper.
not
like,
even
it's
cheese.
double. And they don't even, the Whopper doesn't even come with cheese. That's the other dumb
That's
thing.
crazy.
You have to literally pay to get cheese on
How
it.
do you get a cheeseburger with no cheese?
It's not a cheeseburger. It's a Whopper. It's stupid. Burger King, if you're listening to this,
Burger
change
King,
your
I'm
ways.
this close to putting you in F tier. You're making me angry right now.
Yeah, your croissant which saved you, and your little hash browns too.
And their orange juice. That's just Minute Maid.
Yeah, that's just cartons.
All right, Checkers.
Just for the fries, you got to give them C.
C.
If you took the fries
I'd
out
put
of the
'em in D.
equation, they'd be an F.
I would put them in D though, because I
Is
just
this
think
my
they're
list though?
no. This is our list.
Oh, I thought it was my list.
This
You
is
would do D.
our I would do.
Their
Actually,
fries are S.
their fries are A. Their fries, Arby's are S. McDonald's are S. Checkers.
No, you did not just say Arby's fries are better than Checkers.
They absolutely
Get off
are.
your show. Get off your show.
They absolutely are.
No.
First of all, they're curly,
There's
which
a live
makes them 10
studio
times
audience.
better.
I'm looking to the live studio audience right now. What do you guys think of Checkers fries? Better than Arby's? Thumbs up. They're both like, they're shaking out of anxiety that Warsh even said that.
Okay, first of all, Arby's fries are curly, which automatically makes any fry better.
No.
Yes, why?
No. McDonald's fries are straight. They're good.
Yes, but those are like a very distinct taste, though.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are.
You have to like work harder for curly fries. Don't tell me you're one of those people who thinks making them waffle looking too are better.
No,
Okay.
no. I only like Chick-fil-A's waffle
All right, you know,
fries.
fine. We'll split the difference and we'll put Checkers in C.
Okay,
You can put it in D. if
fine,
you want.
whatever, man.
You can put it in D.
We need to take it into consideration that their burgers are absolutely nasty.
They're disgusting.
So-
Their soda's good though. For some reason, Checkers Coke is really good, just like McDonald's.
Wait, you're not being.
I'm
you're
not joking. Checkers and
Interesting.
McDonald's have the best soda,
Interesting.
and there is a difference. Don't tell me there's not.
Okay, we'll do a few more. Chick-fil-A.
I'd give it an A. To be honest, I think Chick-fil-A is overrated. Most people would say S.
Why
I
would
feel
you-
like
why
they
would you bring
pump
it down
out
a tier?
so much volume, and for that, you would expect the food to be fresher a lot. But a lot of times when I get there and get my sandwich, it's already soggy.
But I mean, you say it's because they pump out a lot of them. I mean, they
Hey.
got to do it beforehand because the drive-throughs are always insane.
But it takes away from it.
I guess.
McDonald's actually, a lot of times the burger is fresher than the chicken sandwich because they grill it now.
Yeah. That's
Our
true.
live studio
But there's
audience
just
left
so
us.
much. There's just so much about Chick-fil-A that I just love. The sauce is unmatched. Have you ever had their chicken tenders?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Oh
good.
my gosh.
It's good. I'd give it an A. Are you putting it in S? It's
yes.
not. It's not worth me fighting over. You can do it. I won't argue. But personally, I say A.
All right, that's fine, I guess.
But it's hard to say fast food
It is fast food.
is an S in general.
But like in the
But I
list
guess
of fast
Chick-fil-A
food,
is like the top of the top, the cream of the crop. Tick tock, plop plop.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening now.
Okay, so we'll put that in A.
You can put it in S.
No, we're gonna put it in A.
Okay, fine.
Just for you.
Okay, what do we got?
Just in case.
How many more do we want to do?
Two more. We'll do two more.
Okay.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
F.
You know what? A while ago, I would have put Chipotle as like an A or a B, but my most recent Chipotle experiences, I'm giving it like a D.
I'm putting it in F because I absolutely detest Chipotle.
Your girlfriend works there.
I know. That's the only thing that makes me not want to put it in a tier below F.
Okay. All right. I won't disagree. I've been so disappointed. And the last 2 times I went, they didn't even have forks at different locations. How does that happen?
Well, you got to also think Chipotle gives people diseases sometimes.
That's true.
Don't go to Chipotle.
Oh, I couldn't even finish. Last time, like, not last time, but the time before that I went, we literally ate for free because my wife had a gift card and I had a reward. And I didn't finish it because it was so bad. It was terrible. It was oily and ugh. Sorry.
I'm looking through this list. I know there's a lot of these that we would just agree are like in the top echelon of
Am I allowed to move closer to you?
fast food.
Here we go. Let's see. What do we got? Ooh, Panda Express. Can we talk about Panda Express? That's an
We
A.
can do that. An A, not an S.
I'd give it an S. I
I
just
would
thought
give
you
it
might
an S.
argue.
No, I love their orange chicken. Although I don't really branch out when it comes to that.
Oh, see, I like their teriyaki chicken too.
Mm.
Are you a rice guy or a noodle guy?
Noodles.
Yep, the
when
little
it comes to
main.
Panda Express.
Come
But like
on.
everywhere else, it's rice. All right.
Have you ever had Del Taco?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
All I know is
I got cursed by a sorcerer one time at a Del Taco.
Really?
Yes, on my way to Las Vegas. True story.
What happened?
He cursed me.
He just cursed you?
So he literally came up to our table. I guess I don't need to be this close to you right now. He came up to our table and asked us like, "Hey, can I have some money so I can get a burger?" We're at Del Taco. I've never see the guy's face. He's got like a veil on, and he's wearing it's like April or May. He's wearing a sweater in the desert with like jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts on it and stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, I'll go in. I'll go in Del Taco. I'll buy. I don't like tacos." He kind of sounded like Michael Jackson. I'm not even joking.
Dude.
It was creepy. And he's like, "But they sell burgers here. Will you buy me a burger?" So I was like, "Sure." So we get in line. I order him a burger. I pay for it. Like I'm just trying to be a good like guy, share the love of Jesus, and all that stuff. So we finally get his burger. We order. We wait for it. He gets it. He's like, "I love you, man. I love you." Like he told me he loves me.
Wow.
And I was like, "Well, hey, man, Jesus loves you." Like I really genuinely was trying to use this as like an evangelism moment. And then in that moment, he bowed his head. And I don't know what he said, but he went, and like cursed me.
Cursed
I'm
you.
pretty sure he was a sorcerer who cursed me. So
That
then me and
is
my friend Ty, I
freaky.
went back outside and told him about it, and we just prayed. And we were like, "No, like this isn't going to happen." I genuinely think the guy cursed me.
Dude, that is freaky.
It was creepy. Never saw his face, but he said he loved me. He didn't want me to buy him a taco because he doesn't like tacos. He wanted a burger, and he got a burger at Del Taco. And Del Taco's tacos are really good.
I kind of don't want to go to Del Taco now because
Well, it's not like every Del Taco has a sorcerer that's going to curse you.
You've only been to one.
No, I've been to more than one. I've been there in Colorado too.
Have you seen other sorcerers?
No, that was the only one.
I don't know, man. It's still kind of scary.
Okay,
Anyways, well, I think this is a good list.
I like it.
We'll do some more of these. And
Oh, there's so many other good places
I
on
know.
here. Like Taco Bell. That's like an SF.
A Sean Fryer.
No, it's just so bad, but so good, all at the same time.
Yeah.
It literally could be in both tiers, and everyone would have an argument.
There's a
for
few
it.
on here that they're like in the Midwest or on the West Coast that I just want to try, like In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out's decent. I'd give In-N-Out like a B.
Like Cookout. I've heard that place is good. Cane's, Raising Cane's.
Oh, Moe's. Moe's is better than Chipotle.
Agreed.
Unpopular opinion, but
Agreed.
cool.
Well, that's our list.
All right.
We're sticking with it.
Sounds
no
good.
going back.
Let's do it. All right.
Cool. All right, for our last segment today, we just wanted to talk for a little bit. Sean, I know you prepared a little bit, even as you were studying for your teaching this week. Do you want to share a little bit about what God's been showing you?
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday with Matt Hickman. I'll give him the shout out. So Matt, if you're listening to this, you and your advice made it onto the Youth Encounter podcast. Go Matt. And he just said this question, and I don't remember where he said he heard it, but this guy basically said, like, hey, if you're a pastor or a preacher or whatever, like, you better be preaching the gospel to yourself every single day. And the guy went on to say, like, he believes the biggest reason most pastors fall out of ministry is because they're not preaching the gospel to themselves. And we just sat and we talked about that a little bit. And I thought that was not just a great reminder for someone like me who gets to teach almost every weekend, but really any Christian in general. Like, there's this incredible, beautiful thing we have. I mean, it's called the good news. It's called the gospel. It's about a God who literally loves us so much that he sent his son to die for us so that everything wrong we've ever done could be forgiven. Like, there was no, what's the word I'm looking for? There was literally nothing God could get out of it for himself. There wasn't any like strings attached. There was no contingencies. There wasn't anything we had to do for it first. And I love the verse in Romans that said, God demonstrates his own love toward us that while we were still sinners, think about that. Like the gospel, we don't get the gospel. We don't get what Jesus did for us on the cross because we were good enough, because we earned it, because we cleaned up our life first, because we did any of those things. We simply get it because God wanted to demonstrate his love toward us. We get it because he loves us. God demonstrated his own love toward us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And I think that's an incredible thing to remember because, I mean, if you're watching this now and you're a Christian, you have a relationship with Jesus, it's very, very easy to fall into shame. It's very, very easy to fall into guilt. It's really, really easy to feel terrible. And I think one of the biggest issues I see in Christianity today is that feeling of shame that we can live with. And people can even feel shamed when they're convicted by a message. They can feel shame when they do sin, when they struggle, let's say, with purity or whatever it is. Like that feeling of shame comes, and like we feel so horrible. We feel so unworthy. We feel like we're the worst people in the world. And I'm not saying this in the sense of like, so let's just keep sinning and do whatever we want whenever we want. But like, if we go back to the gospel, like we were never good enough to begin with, and he still died for us. Like we never deserved it to begin with, and he still died for us. So even once we're saved and we do mess up, like remember the gospel. Like he loved you in your worst place. He died for you in your worst place. He died for you when you were in the deepest, darkest places of your life. So even once you've come to Christ, it's not like he stops loving you all of a sudden. It's not like he stops giving you grace all of a sudden. It's not like he stops offering you mercy all of a sudden. And that was just a great reminder to me. Like, remember, like, preach the gospel to yourself. Remember the gospel for yourself. And it just, I don't know, that spoke to me.
Yeah. What would you say to someone that is just feeling that right now? Like they're in this place of just shame and guilt for something that, you know, whether it was sin, whether it was whatever it is, what would you say to someone, like if they're standing right in front of you? Like, what do I practically do?
Are you asking for a friend?
For a friend.
Warsh.
For a friend.
No, I mean, literally, like, I don't want to be dramatic and, like, stare into the camera, but, like, I would want to look you in the eyes and say, God loves you. Like, he loves you, and while you're struggling with those feelings of sin and shame and all of those things, like, even remember this, and I don't know if this is encouraging, but the Bible tells us even our good works are like filthy rags. Like, He is so good and he is so perfect that literally there's nothing good that I can do. Like truly, truly, when you look at how good and perfect God is, but he still loves you. He still cares about you. And what I can tell you as you're sitting in that guilt, as you're sitting in that shame, he has so much more for you. He has so much better for you. And I think one of the worst things Christianity, but I would say like the Church of America does is we can so often preach against the shame and preach against the sin, but we don't tell you what he has to offer. The Bible tells us he has more than we could ever hope, dream, or imagine. He came to give us life, life abundantly, a complete and full life, a life of joy, a life of peace, a life of hope, a life of love, a life of all of these things. That's what he has for you. It is so much better and so much greater than that shame that you're sitting in. And there's nothing you have to do to earn those things. Like, you just run after him, you seek after him, and he does a work in your life. He does a work in your heart. He changes you. He transforms you. That's what I would say.
I love that. There's hope.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to do things to get back.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And what happens is as you grow in your relationship, like, those things will come, and you'll start doing them, but you'll still mess up. Like, you'll still screw up. We're humans. Like, I mean, even Paul. Like, Paul had a thorn in his flesh. Like, there was something Paul struggled with. Some people think it was a physical thing. There's people who argue about what his thorn was, but, like, Paul, who's probably the coolest person in the Bible outside of Jesus, he was a sinner. You know, Peter was a sinner. Moses murdered someone. Like, and I literally read this to someone, I think it was yesterday. If you look at all the Old Testament heroes, and I would say this to someone struggling too with sin and shame and all those things that you've done, you look at all the Old Testament heroes, Noah, Moses, David, all of them had, like, David committed adultery, killed a man. Noah got drunk after God saved his life. Like, his response was, let's get drunk.
Yeah.
Like, woo. Moses murdered a man, like, and he didn't get to enter the promised land because his anger got the best of him. You look at all of them in the New Testament, it remembers them without their sin. And Hebrews 11, the Hall of Faith, the Old Testament heroes who had all this dark sin in their lives are remembered without their sin.
Yeah, and even going back to David, like, he's not regarded as the man who didn't sin, or he was the perfect man. He was the man who was after God's heart. It's all been a spiritual thing this whole time. It's not about you know, how much we sin and how much we feel shame. And I even think about someone who's struggling, sitting in that guilt. It's like, that's not what God wants for you. He wants you to repent. He wants you to come back to him rather than sitting in that for a long time. That's what the enemy wants.
Yeah.
He wants you to sit in that isolation. He wants you to isolate yourself and just sit in that, and he wants to spread lies into you. Like, God doesn't love you. He doesn't have anything planned for you. You're a sinner. You can't be a part of God's will for the world. It's like, no. It's like God wants you to return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say
So
take
good.
that feeling of guilt and conviction, and we can end after this thought, that guilt and conviction, and say, oh, this is a good thing. This is the Holy Spirit telling me he has something better. I'm feeling bad about this because it was wrong, whatever it might be, and it's just God's way of saying, hey, I've got something better for you.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, don't sit in it. I love how you said that. Don't sit in it. He's got something more for you. So run out of that junk towards whatever he has for you.
Yeah, he gives you the conviction for you to respond.
Yeah.
Not to sit in it. That's so
Exactly.
good. Sweet. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we're gonna post episode 3. Actually, we're gonna record episode 3 next week. Post episode 2 pretty soon. So be on the lookout. We got 2 new segments coming up next week, as well as a special guest. Ooh, special guest.
Throw in the chat who you think that could be. Barack Obama.
John Stamos.
Dude, if John Stamos were on this show, that's the goal. Guys, start writing to him now. Start posting.
We're starting a Patreon.
We're going to get John Stamos on the YE podcast.
I'm sure he would be totally honored.
Dude,
Cool.
that would make my day.
That'd be cool. But yeah, so be on the lookout for a special guest. And yeah, we love you guys.
Forever. Do you know that song?
No, you're
Jesse and the Rippers?
You're full of songs
I
today.
am, sorry.
It's
and I can't
impressive.
sing.
It's impressive.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you. We'll see you soon.